do something accidental where it bounced off the rim. And he said, what was that? And then the student said, I don't know. And he goes, no. And then Ken Wood kind of figured it out. And a lot of controversy like on the net where it's like, oh, John is lame. Like, he didn't invent that. That's back from, and that's totally cool. Like, I'm not saying that I did this, but just so you guys know, got it from Ken Wood and then developed it to where, in my own style, changed it just a little bit to where I could play any rhythms like cleanly and precisely, or I'm hoping so, while having another hand doing something else. And that was mainly because I heard the drum and bass grooves having 8 notes programmed constantly, you know, and then underneath that, it's like, and I'm like, how am I going to do that, you know, without the, you know, being the old M&M's lady thing. Basically, let's show you what's going on with it. Okay, so like any snare, and that's one of the biggest questions, can you do it on acoustics or electronics? Totally can do it on everywhere. The cool thing that we noticed is on the V kit, I was able to do things like, because there's the 2 sound sources, correct? So, and I can do that on the rim of an acoustic snare or the head of an acoustic snare. So let's go back to that. Sorry guys. There we go. It's really simple. It's all from your elbow. When I play fingers, where it looks like nothing's moving except my fingers kind of doing the thing like that, right? Between the index and thumb, that's an exercise I used to do, is just like trying to control the stick moving like that. And then adding the other fingers in. Or then there's wrist. We use that every day. Bigger sound. And then with the freehand, it's basically doing the robot, which is always fun. So if you're at your seat, if you like doing it, that's awesome. If not, it's okay. What I associate it to is picking up like a coin or something off the ground. You know, you have to use your index and thumb to get it, to grab it, a piece of paper, or whatever. That's how I'm grabbing my sticks. I mean, I don't think about it anymore, but just if you want to know how I do my fulcrum, it's between the index and thumb. And then I didn't think I was doing this, but I noticed in some videos I look like a complete weirdo because my finger will just be sticking out like that. So I guess I am starting to kind of use the Gruber / Weckl / secondary finger, which I thought I wasn't, but I guess I am. But for this, it's between index and thumb, and I'm just letting the stick be able to move, but not out of control, just loose. And from there, I'm doing the kind of the robot from the elbow. So literally arms on my side, and I'm just like that. That's it. Okay, that's the motion. I'm not moving my wrist. I'm not snapping my fingers. And then from there comes the up and down motion. And I'm really good friends with John Blackwell. I love him to death. But there's just a little difference between what he's doing and what I'm doing. I love what he's doing. He's a monster. But with the way I've discovered it, if you start on the rim, and I'm kind of going backwards from like what I don't do to what I do, so you guys get an idea. Because I'll teach some folks, and they're like, dude, I got it. Get out of here. I got it. Leave. You know, and I'm like, well, that's cool, but it's not quite. When you start on the rim, I've noticed I wasn't able to control the initial stroke. It was just, the startup wasn't precise. Like, I wanted to. So you're starting every stroke off the drum as you would if you're coming for, okay? So there's no getting ready, it's just this motion. So the way I do it is parallel to whatever surface. If I'm doing it on a tom, my stick is going to be parallel with wherever the drum is. It's not going to be angled or it's not going to be back. And then all I do is like one motion. Let's drop the stick, my elbow down, and let the tip of the stick hit the head and the rim at the same time, in unison, exact unison. So, and then that's the only pressure, is pressing the butt end of the stick downward. I am applying a bit of pressure there to keep it there, and then slow motion rewind the tape back to exact starting position. Okay, the only important thing to remember is that when you hit the head, you're hitting the rim at the exact same time. Right? When you come up and hit the head again, you're coming up off the rim at the exact same time that the head strike hits. So, off, on the rim, off, on, etc. On, etc. Now to get the notes, it's a simple formula. I'm using wrist stroke for 8 notes. So the 8 notes from this head are going to correspond, when I do full stroke, 2 and 3 and 4 and hear the rim. Now look at the tip. I'm not going and keeping it. It's actually doing the motion. So here the 8 notes equal actually half time of what the stick clicks are doing. So remember, 8 notes equals 16th notes, and then 8 note triplets equals, what do they equal? 16 note triplets. You know what's weird? Good answer, but it's funny when you're like kind of nervous to say it, and you're like, yeah, 16th note triplets. That was me in school. You know, what's 5 plus 7? Well, and then Roy or somebody go, 12, miss whatever. And I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, anyways, here we go. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm not thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. I'm just thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And then the other stuff gets intertwined with the irregular techniques. Clams. Okay, so the formula equals 2 downstrokes can equal 2 things. This is the cool part. 2 downstrokes equals 4 notes. Now it just depends on where you put those notes. If you put them back to back, it's 8 notes, 1 and 2, and that's going to give you 16ths, right? But if I go the first 2 quarter note triplets, dot, 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 dot. Right? It's going to give you that. So same motion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, excuse me, and then, or that. So it's the same beat, but it's just different times. So for example, then I'll do like follow the leader stuff with like students or whatever, like for example, they'll go, or, so with that simple down up motion, you can either get the single stroke 4, half your battle on the freehand thing. And then from there, adding 8 notes to that is easier than it looks because, remember we talked about this? That's still your same motion down there, right? So if I play, I'm just playing 4 and 1, 2, 3. Now I'm hitting it so you can hear the rhythm. You want to go to freehand. Or the 6s. So that's what I'm thinking. Triple, sorry. So that kind of sums it up. Does that kind of make sense? Now remember, the only troubleshooting things you want to work on are to not do this thing, like start where you hit the tip of the stick here first in the head. That's not happening. Just let it drop down parallel. And it's also not going to be this type of thing either. I get this quite a bit. You don't have to do it. There's no stabbing the drum either. There's no, like, it's not playing, strings instruments up here. So there's almost no tension at all in the arms. I had a lot of folks come up that do the blast beat stuff, and they're like, man, I love it, but I try to get volume out of it, and like by about 5 minutes into my groove, I'm having some tension. You're barely moving. Okay. So, and if you want to do like a 5-stroke roll, you would do 2 downstrokes and then a regular. Then you would kind of use the fingers, so like down, down, fingers. You know what I mean? So that's hence the idea of using those 8 notes. So does that kind of work for everybody? No, it's okay, cool. All right. So thanks.